So here we are for the Bionic Boxing Barber. We're here in Salisbury. I noticed when I first came that obviously the medical side of things was very strict and all the fighters were queuing up for a medical. So you were doing those medicals. There was a really strict pre-assessment, and then I believe talking to the promoter Mike, they were assessed again once they came out of the ring.
Yeah, that's correct. So essentially, white-collar boxing, which is what this is classified as, doesn't have a strict and stringent medical assessment criteria as such. So what we do, or what Mike has asked us to do, is bring it in line with what the military do. So the military do it along the lines of the Amateur Boxing Association. So they just kind of bring it up together, a little bit more strict, if you will, so that nobody slips through the net, that A, shouldn't be boxing in the first place if they've got any underlying medical problems, acute and chronic, whether they should be actually going into the ring in the first place. And secondary to that, we do thorough pre-bout and post-bout examinations just to make sure that they're medically fit to go into the ring, and also when they come out of the ring, they've got that peace of mind going homes for them and for their loved ones, that there's no underlying neurological problems, because that's the biggest risk in boxing is insult or injury to the brain. So a lot of our checks mainly are around neurological assessments. We give them a basic physical as well, and the reason we do that pre-bout and post-bout is so we've got a baseline of observations, so we know what's normal for them, and then when they come out of the ring, we can then reassess them and make sure there's no changes.
That's fantastic. I've noticed with promoters and people involved in the white collar that because there's no basic rules to this, they go above and beyond to make sure they cater and care for the guys getting into the ring.
Yeah, well, some do and some don't. Now, Mikey does, and Mikey has been very, he's been very, from the onset of when we got involved, or he asked us to get involved, he's been very strict in the fact that he wants safety to be paramount above all else. But not all white collar does that, from what I've experienced in the past.
Sure.
Being ex-military, which is why he asked us to get involved, he knows that we've done military boxing cover, and that's the standards at minimum that he wants, which is in line with Amateur Boxing Association. So that's why he's got us involved, but not all white collar do it.
Yeah, sure.
And the main reason for that is cost involved.
Okay.
And people just don't want to pay that cost. Unfortunately, Mikey's different, obviously, but and hopefully that's going to be the standard moving forward.
Okay. I've not experienced it yet where it's not really been. I have and I haven't. I just think when people are starting out promoting and organising events, they're very strict with themselves and they want to tick all the boxes. So, I personally, I had 3 paramedics ringside when I did a show September, and I've noticed that very, very similar to the shows I've been going to. But as you pointed out, not everybody's like that, and perhaps they need to step it up.
Yeah, it comes down not just to the medical cover. Generally, you're going to get paramedics here because you kind of have to anyway, paramedic cover as a minimum. And most paramedics are either involved or have been involved in the NHS, so they've got that set standard of training. But it's the coaches as well, and what I notice here is the standard of coaches is better, and the standard of fighter is better. Now, I don't want to put people off doing white collar, but from the bad white collars I've seen, they've generally had 2, maybe 3 weeks of training, and then they've gone straight into the ring, where here, the standards and quality and caliber of fighters seems to just be that little bit higher. Yeah. I say a little bit, a lot higher, and that makes a significant difference. It makes the job a lot easier for us as well.
And they're very equal in the levels that they're fighting at, and they've been matched up really well. And as you said, sometimes it's not like that in white collar. They've done 6 weeks training, and somebody gets absolutely battered. As the fights I've seen here tonight have been very well made.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And Mike is definitely very strict on those weights. And if they come in and they're not at those weights, he's more than happy just to turn them away and say, sorry, no, you've misinterpreted the truth here. You haven't been completely honest. And it's not safe. So
Thanks for taking the time. I wanted to obviously leave you alone tonight and let you do your thing, and then I literally grabbed you and said, hey, come on, because I want to bring everybody together at an event. And, you know, whether you're working behind the bar or you're doing pre-assessed medicals, I think everybody needs a platform, and we need to get on board and see how an event's run correctly and properly.
yeah, and it's a pleasure to do it when it is run correctly and properly as well.
Sure.
So it's not work for us to be here. And even though I don't get to sit in the ringside and take in the atmosphere, I'm stuck back here.
Yeah.
It's still to me a joy to do and help my account as well.
Well, thanks for getting involved, and anybody else out there that wants to get involved in boxing, you know, there's plenty of places up and down the country putting events on. So, you know, like and subscribe to the Bionic Boxing Barber and get involved and keep punching. Cheers. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.